Hi, everybody. I just thought, I will answer the whole, doubt about, what is methodology A and what is methodology B. And some of you have explained it correctly. It looked correctly. It looks like all of you have guessed correctly, or you know, you have a very good understanding of it. I'm just kind of reiterating and confirming, just so that if you have any sense of self-doubt about what is methodology A or B, it could become clear now. Okay, so when in the prompt I say with methodology A, what can we do? You can summarize the resources that you have researched in the intro and state your thesis, right? So that's kind of how we have been responding to essays in the first two papers. We read something and then we respond to it, right? And when we respond to it, what is the strategy in academia? We first summarize, we tell our audience like what this is about. We make sure our summary is very accurate, it's in no way biased, and then we transition, put in our own thoughts, that is a thesis statement, and then we proceed to argue and defend that thesis statement, right? So that is methodology A. That's something that you have been doing, and it shouldn't be sort of like, I'm hoping it won't be hard on you, except that this time you're kind of finding your own essays, whereas with essay 1 and 2, it was given in the class, like this is what we're reading, this is what we'll respond to, and so on. Okay, so that is methodology A. Okay, so what else do I say here? Responding is what you have done in essay 1 and essay 2. So if you found 5 excellent resources on your topic and you know what you'll argue about, you can use 1 or 2 of those source essays as the foundation of your paper. Yeah, that is the papers you'll respond to, and you can use the other resources for supporting your argument or defeating your opposition. It is simply a technique, or a kind of like a strategy that I gave here, which is, let's say you read 5 essays, and you thought, oh, okay, so I know what I'm going to say. I'm going to make an argument, but I would like to use methodology A. In that case, if you feel like, oh my God, I don't need to summarize all 5. I mean, the introduction will just go on and on. Well, what you can do is you can summarize 2. You can summarize 1. You can summarize 3, whatever you want to do. And then you can bring in the other sources to either support your argument, or you could bring it in to refute what your opposition might say. Essentially, you're making an argument. That's kind of the bottom line. We're making an argument. And so you could use these readings, these 5 sources that you have read, in different types of combinations. So in other words, you have more freedom now in order to um, do what you have been learning in this class. That is, you've learned how to write an argument in academia, and now you can do that in a few different ways, actually. So there's more freedom now. Methodology B, you can begin with simply setting up the context in freestyle, like you have learned even before you got into 103. We have been doing writing arguments ever since, maybe even elementary school, maybe like, of course, junior high, high school, right? They used to call it persuasive essays, which is, very similar to argumentation. Um, and in this case, you do not need to begin with a summarization of something. You set up the context, and then you get to the transition thesis statement, and then you start pulling in all your readings, all that knowledge you have gained, all those resources, and use them as is necessary. You might use some of them to support what you're saying. You might use some of them to refute what your opposition is saying. You might be using it in several different ways. So that's the difference between methodology A and B. Methodology A, we begin with a summarization. Methodology B, freestyle. You simply set up the context, right? For your topic. I hope this helps. Take care. Bye bye.